1962 Impala Restoration, Part 15. Mock up the quarter panel. Hey, hit that like and subscribe, and let's get started where we left off on Part 14. Okay, we had mocked up the inner quarter panels, outer wheel wells, upper trunk, lower trunk, and made sure everything was lined up. Now, we haven't fully welded all of these parts in yet. We have a couple of resistance welds, and the rest is held into place with screws. We want to make sure everything's in the right position before we start welding. And to start this off, we're going to get the remnant of the quarter panels removed. And that's where the factory resistance welds would be to attach the quarter panel to that deck filler. So we're going to uncover those areas with a wire wheel. Now, from the factory, after they resistance welded panels together, they would finish off the ends with brass brazing. And then they would use lead in other areas. And there's the brass. And we want to know where that is because we need to remove that. It's not going to go very well to weld over. And there could be possibly rust underneath the brass. So we're going to get that out. And I'm not quite sure how I want to affix this quarter panel yet. So I'm still going to leave this little lip. And we're going to get close on this back piece, cutting it off. Now you can see there are a lot of little resistance welds here. Traditionally, yeah, you would drill these out and then separate it, but that's not going to work out real well because we'd have so many holes. Well, we're just going to use a different method. And this is my preferred method anyway. If we work carefully, slowly turn down the pressure on the air hammer, well, we can work around the resistance welds and get this off really nice and clean, the remnant of the quarter panel. And just a little bit at a time. Can't rush this step. And there we've got one end started. Okay, now this is the driver's side. And it's all been cleaned and prepped, and this is what we have to work with. You can see if you take your time with the air hammer, it'll work out really well. Okay. Passenger quarter panel. Now I pretty much know where all of the plug welds need to be installed, so I'm going to go ahead, use this tool, put in some punch holes, and we're going to plug weld through these holes. And we're just going to try to equally space them out. Now from the factory, they just went along and resistance welded wherever, so it doesn't have to be precise. And we're doing this now so we can save a step later. So I've decided to go ahead and remove this lip. Now, the way this was assembled, this car, the quarter panels went on first, and then the roof skin. So we're going to have to make some allowances for that because that really can't happen. Now we're getting all the little remnants out of the way. This was up under the deck filler. And even though we have some primer on this, we want to come back, Scotch-Brite that down. All the areas that are going to be welded, and put a little bit more zinc weld, and that's a weld-through primer. And maybe we can eliminate one step of taking it off, putting it back on to re-prep everything. Okay, here we go. getting the quarter panel set into place. And because we're going over instead of under, well, we're going to have to make some little allowances. Everything's looking pretty decent. And now this is going to be a short video. Got a ton of stuff going on this week. We're going to get back on this car, get the other side quarter panel installed. So stay tuned. And it's like I mentioned, instead of welding everything as we go, which would be a huge mistake, we're going to secure all these panels with screws. And once everything looks right and I'm satisfied with the fit and finish, then we come back and start welding. And I'd like to say thank you to all our followers and supporters. And that's what we have. At this point, lines are looking pretty good. Everything's looking nice, flush, parallel. Getting set up for part 16. It's coming along. Hey, and as always, thanks for watching.